Imagine a quiet stream deep in a forest. The water flows slowly, light filters through the trees, and under the surface, hidden beneath rocks and leaves, a small, armored creature is on the move. It's not a fish, nor an insect. It's a crayfish, a freshwater guardian with claws like miniature swords and a life full of secrets. Welcome to Calm Nature Tales. Today, we'll take a deep, soothing dive into the world of crayfish. These tiny lobster-like creatures may seem simple, but their world is far more fascinating than you'd imagine. From their nighttime adventures to their surprising social lives, get ready to be amazed by nature's little warriors of the stream. What are crayfish? Crayfish, also known as crawfish or crawdads in some regions, are freshwater crustaceans resembling small lobsters. They're part of the order Decapoda, which also includes crabs and true lobsters. Most species live in rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds. They breathe through gills, require clean, well-oxygenated water, and are extremely sensitive to pollution, which makes them perfect indicators of water quality. There are over 600 species of crayfish worldwide, with the highest diversity found in North America and Australia. The United States alone is home to over 400 species. Anatomy of a crayfish, built for battle. Crayfish have a hard outer shell, or exoskeleton, that protects their soft bodies. This armor is periodically shed in a process called molting, allowing them to grow. They have two large claws called chellae, which they use for defense, hunting, and even communication. Behind these claws are 4 pairs of walking legs, and hidden underneath their bodies are swimmerets, small appendages they use for movement and reproduction. Their compound eyes sit on stalks and provide excellent vision, while their long antennae help them sense the world around them, especially at night. Crayfish behavior, night wanderers. Crayfish are nocturnal, meaning they're most active at night. During the day, they hide under rocks, logs, or burrow into the riverbed. But once darkness falls, they roam in search of food and mates. They're omnivores, meaning they'll eat both plants and animals. Their diet includes algae, dead fish, insects, plant matter, and even other crayfish when food is scarce. Despite their armored look, crayfish are often prey for larger animals, like raccoons, birds, fish, and even otters. Molting, shedding the old self. One of the most fascinating parts of a crayfish's life is molting. As they grow, their hard shell doesn't stretch, so they have to shed it and form a new one. Right before molting, the crayfish becomes sluggish and hides more. Then, in one swift move, it breaks out of its shell. The new exoskeleton is soft, making the crayfish vulnerable for several days until it hardens again. During this time, crayfish often hide in complete isolation, avoiding predators and even other crayfish who might see them as an easy snack. Reproduction and parenting. Crayfish mating happens after molting, when the female's shell is still soft. The male deposits sperm into the female, who then carries the fertilized eggs under her tail, attached to her swimmerets. She protects these eggs fiercely for several weeks until they hatch into miniature versions of adult crayfish. Even after hatching, the babies stay attached to their mother for a few days before setting off on their own. Though tiny and seemingly defenseless, these babies are born ready for the wild, armored and instinct-driven from the start. Crayfish communication, claws, posture, and signals. Crayfish communicate through body posture, claw waving, and sometimes through chemical signals released into the water. When two crayfish meet, a claw-off might happen, with each one raising their claws to look larger and more threatening. These displays usually resolve without violence, as most prefer to avoid injury. Some species even remember previous opponents and avoid fights with individuals who've beaten them in the past, showcasing a primitive form of memory. Habitat and burrowing. Architects of the mud. Some crayfish live in open water, while others are expert burrowers. They dig deep into the mud, creating elaborate tunnels and chambers that protect them from predators and temperature extremes. Burrowing crayfish are especially common in areas with seasonal droughts. Their tunnels can go several feet deep and even reach the water table. These burrows also help aerate the soil and improve ecosystems by allowing water and nutrients to move more freely underground. Crayfish around the world. Global travelers. Crayfish are found on every continent except Africa and Antarctica. In Australia, the giant marin and Tasmanian giant freshwater crayfish are known for their impressive size, growing up to 31 inches long. In Europe, the native white-clawed crayfish has been threatened by invasive species like the signal crayfish introduced from North America. These invaders carry a disease called crayfish plague, which native crayfish have no resistance to. In the U.S., crayfish are so numerous they're often used as fishing bait, and in Louisiana they're a staple of crawfish boils, a celebrated Southern tradition. Environmental importance. Crayfish are ecosystem engineers. They clean up decaying matter, recycle nutrients, and provide food for dozens of other animals. But they're also vulnerable. Pollution, habitat destruction, and invasive species are major threats. In fact, nearly 50% of crayfish species in North America are considered at risk or endangered. Protecting freshwater ecosystems is key to preserving their future. Crayfish in culture. In some cultures, crayfish are delicacies. In Sweden, crayfish parties known as kräftskiva are held in late summer with singing, drinking, and lots of crayfish. In Cajun culture of Louisiana, crayfish are part of the regional identity, featured in songs, festivals, and folklore. Even in art and science, crayfish have made their mark, used in neurological studies and even referenced in poetry as symbols of solitude and survival. From the still waters of hidden streams to the muddy tunnels beneath the earth, crayfish are quiet architects of the wild, resilient, adaptable, and deeply important to our ecosystems. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey through the world of crayfish. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, which animal would you like to explore next? Until next time, stay curious, stay calm, and keep listening to nature's stories.